Sebentar, Pak. Ups. Nah, ini saya bisa lihat dari mana ini, Pak? Karena
Selama co-host atau host, Bapak bisa melihat. Oh, belum.
belum ada ini, Pak.
Sekarang sudah live stream. Karena Bapak belum co-host atau host, belum bisa melihat.
Oh, iya.
Sekarang akan dikasih host dulu.
Oke, sudah saya
Oke,
live
terima kasih, Pak.
streamkan. Saya jadikan Pak Yohan host. Sudah.
Oke. I think we
Oh,
can
di
invite
waiting.
the speaker, Pak.
Oke, Pak. Di waiting
If they
room
are here,
cuma
we
ada
can-
speakernya.
Apa?
Cuma ada speakernya ini, Pak, di waiting roomnya.
Oh ya, nggak apa-apa sih. Buat mereka nyoba-nyoba dulu gitu biasa sih. Atau mau nunggu 5 menit lagi?
Boleh, Pak. Atau ini saya invite hostnya dulu aja. Speakernya dulu ya, Pak ya.
Iya, nggak apa-apa sih.
Terus, ya. Saya invite terbaiknya. Good morning, Dr. Bayu.
Hello, a very good morning.
Halo,
Dr.
Dr. Bayu. Or maybe good night over there.
I think still connecting or good morning, Dr. Bayu.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, Dr. Bayu. Suara saya terdengar kan ya, Pak Iwan?
Iya, terdengar, Pak.
Oke.
Halo, ya, selamat pagi semua.
Ya,
Selamat
selamat
pagi.
pagi, Pak Bayu.
Terima kasih nih Pak sudah mau membantu untuk join, Pak.
Sama-sama. Terima kasih juga sudah diundang. Kesempatan luar biasa untuk sharing sama-sama.
Dari Surabaya juga, Pak Bayu.
Saya lahir di Semarang, tapi lama di Palembang, Pak. Jadi
Oh, gitu.
ya orang Palembang.
Orang Palembang, orang pempek.
Iya, pempek.
Di
Sudah
Maryland, dosen
Ya.
di informatika ya, Dr. Bayu?
Iya, saya research scientist, tapi ada jadwal ngajar juga. Saya research scientist di Research Institute gitu, tapi di bawahnya Maryland, University of Maryland.
Oke.
Jadi ada jadwal ngajar juga gitu. Jadi.
Sekarang di sana jam berapa, Dok?
12 jam bedanya, Pak. Jadi jam
Berarti
10,
jam 10 malam ini?
10 kurang 10, ya.
Ya, oke.
Kurang 9. 10 malam.
Kenalannya Pak Yohan? Itu kenalannya Pak siapa, Pak Bayu?
Siapa? Gimana?
Pak Bayu, kenalannya Pak Yohan atau kenalannya Pak Joko?
Oh, saya Bu Maya malah kenalnya.
Oh, Bu
Sudah
Maya.
lama.
Oke.
Iya. Sudah sering join publikasi bareng waktu itu.
Oke. Sudah
Saya
berapa
dapat
tahun di Maryland, Pak?
rekomendasi
Iya, Bu Maya
dari Bu
rekomendasikan.
Maya. Iya.
Oke.
Di sini sudah berapa lama ya? Baru 7 bulan saya.
Oh, baru 7 bulan. Sebelumnya di mana, Pak?
Iya. Sebelumnya kan di Korea, lama di Korea saya.
Oh, berarti kenal Prof. Bernardo.
Oh iya, kenal. Tapi enggak pernah ketemu secara fisik.
Oh, gitu.
Iya, kenal-kenal aja.
Ya.
Sama Ivan juga. Siapa?
Ivan yang sekarang
ya.
di Ubaya ya?
Ya, di teknik industri.
Teknik industri. Betul.
Ya, maka sama Ivan sudah kayak ini apa? Udah kayak adik-beradik, sudah kayak saudara sendiri.
Oh, gitu ya?
Udah sering ketemu. Iya, dari Pohang dulu sampai ke Daejeon, terus ya, sudah.
Loh, kalau Maryland ini di state mana, Pak?
Maryland state-nya MD Maryland namanya.
Oh, gitu. Kalau sama
State-nya
Los
Maryland.
Angeles atau sama Washington gitu jauh?
Kalau Washington DC dekat, sekitar 30 menit kalau dari sini.
Oh, gitu.
Kalau Los Angeles, LA kan bagian timur ya. Bagian
Oh
timur.
ya, kalau itu barat.
Bagian barat ya, sorry.
Barat, kalau
Sini bagian
barat.
timur. Di
Oh,
bagian
30 menitan aja ya?
jauh sekali.
30 menit driving gitu, Pak?
Iya, kalau ke DC ya 30
Oh,
menit
gitu
lah.
ya, dekat ya?
Pakai mobil. Iya, dekat sekali. 30 menit lah. Ya, lancar.
Kalau kami kebetulan ke Amerika, boleh visit ke Bapak, Pak?
Oh iya, boleh, silakan.
Boleh ya?
Iya, silakan.
Iya,
Saya senang malah
datang ya, Pak.
dikunjungi. Iya. Siap.
Terima kasih nih.
Iya.
Ini mungkin Pak Bayu bisa coba share screen, Pak. Siapa tahu.
Oh, share screen. Oke.
Testing aja, testing.
Share screen 2. Kelihatan?
Ya, kelihatan.
Ya, kelihatan, Pak.
Oke.
Wah, ini chat GPT ini menarik ini.
Iya, saya kebetulan juga baru-baru aja coba ini. Jadi sekalian belajar, sekalian sharing. Jadi mudah-mudahan nanti jangan tanya-tanya yang berat-berat. Saya juga masih banyak belajar soal ini.
Iya, menarik sih. Tapi cuma chat GPT ini jawabannya pendek-pendek ya. Maksudnya
bisa yang panjang-panjang bisa, Pak.
Bisa panjang.
Oh, bisa sepanjang apa?
Iya, bisa panjang. Tapi tidak tahu, tidak pernah saya hitung sih jumlah karakternya. Tapi kalau untuk misalnya coding, dia bisa generate sampai berapa line of code ya? Lebih dari 50 kayaknya.
Oh, oke.
50 line of code kayaknya. Jadi banyak juga, lumayan karakternya. 50 ya kalau saya enggak salah.
Oke. Ya.
Ya, sekarang ada yang pro, tapi khusus untuk yang di US.
Oh,
Untuk yang
khusus
pro
di
itu bayar
US.
$20 ya. Bayar $20.
Bedanya apa,
Kalau
Pak?
yang pro itu enggak perlu kita nunggu-nunggu. Jadi
Nggak perlu apa?
Enggak perlu nunggu.
Oh, gitu.
Ya, jadi dia kasih kesempatan kan biasanya kan untuk masuk susah kan. Karena bandwidth segala macam. Nah, yang bayar $20 sebulan itu katanya dapat prioritas untuk itu.
Pak Bayu sudah punya yang pro?
Enggak, saya karena baru mau coba-coba kan, saya pikir belum terlalu butuh. Terus lagian kan di sini kan lumayan cepat ya. Soalnya kan servernya di sini. Jadi nggak terlalu sih. Kalau saat peak itu biasanya kan pagi gitu biasanya masih bisa dapat terus sih. Ada ini apa pernah pengalaman nggak pernah dapat gitu?
Enggak sih, selama ini baik-baik. Nanya ya dijawab aja selalu sih.
Oh iya. Ya jadi mungkin lagi penggunanya lagi sedikit kan nanti kan. Tapi kan sekarang udah hampir berapa? 10 jutaan ya. Ratusan juta kayaknya sekarang. Ratusan juta pengguna kayaknya sekarang. Dalam beberapa bulan. Bandingkan dengan Facebook yang butuh berapa tahun? 5 tahun kayaknya. 2 tahun, 5 tahun untuk dapat 100 juta pengguna itu.
Ya.
ChatGPT baru November kemarin sudah jutaan ini, ratusan juta pengguna ya. Jadi menarik.
Oke, I think Pak Yohan, Pak speaker satunya belum join ya, Pak?
Belum. Untuk speaker satunya Profesor Chang.
Ya, Chang.
Ya, Profesor Chang masih ada rapat. Nanti Prof.
Oh,
Chang mungkin joinnya sekitar jam 10.20, 10.25, Pak.
oh, I see. Kalau gitu gini aja,
Iya.
Pak. Nanti Bapak Prof. Bayu dulu 20 menit terus tanya jawab, terus lanjut Prof. Chang gitu.
Iya.
Ya, oke, sip. Ini kita start
Ya.
10 o'clock siap ya. Nanti kasihan Pak Bayu, Prof. Bayu kalau kemalaman kan. Nanti Prof. Bayu
Iya,
kalau
Pak.
sudah selesai
Iya,
bisa nih kok. Ya kan Pak?
Iya,
Ya?
enggak apa-apa, enggak apa-apa. Enggak
Iya.
apa-apa, santai-santai.
Nggak apa-apa, Pak.
Ya, biasa sampai jam malam tidur.
Oh gitu. Wah, terima kasih.
Waduh.
Pak keluarga Pak Bayu.
Iya, sama keluarga di sini semua.
Oke, sudah.
Ini repot ini.
Oke, now is wait. I'll see the watch. Kurang
Tinggal
3 menit mau
3
dimulai
minutes.
10 o'clock siap atau Pak Yohan?
Dimulai
Ya,
10
10 o'clock siap.
10 o'clock siap.
Iya.
Okay. So I think we can invite all the participants, Pak Yohan.
Baik, Pak.
I think to ease you, Pak, waiting roomnya dihilangkan aja, Pak.
Oh, oke, Pak.
Jadi nanti pokoknya semuanya langsung diterima gitu.
Settingnya di mana ya, Pak ya?
Di security, Pak. Di bagian
Sudah saya
security.
disable kok, Pak.
Di kiri nomor 3 kalau nggak salah.
Oh iya.
Ya itu.
Oh, ini sudah
Sudah saya
ada
disable.
waiting roomnya. Sudah
Oke,
disable. Ya, terima kasih Ibu Sandra.
Okay, so we will start in 2 minutes ya, at 10 o'clock siap ya.
Oke.
Okay. Okay, let us start. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Good morning, Pak Yohan. Good morning, Pak Daniel. Good morning. Good night, actually, or very good, very late evening for Dr. Bayu and all participants. As an organizing committee, I would like to welcome and say thank you for all participants, moderator, and speakers of this webinar titled Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, hosted by the Faculty of Engineering of a-Ubaya Informatics Engineering Department. Today, we are very honored that we will have 2 speakers who will talk about the ChatGPT, an emerging AI generative tool. I believe all of you are now using or know or ever read about ChatGPT, and as it is very happening nowadays. And it will be delivered by Dr. Bayu Aditama, who is quite far away from Maryland University, USA. Once again, very late evening from Indonesia, Dr. Bayu. Also, later we will have a speaker from Taiwan, from National Taiwan University of Science and Technology, Assistant Professor Chih Chang, who will speak about the application of big data AI in financial technology. Not to forget, I also would like to thank you and welcome the moderator, Dr. Alexander Johan, who will be your moderator for the next 60 minutes until the end of this session. Okay, without further ado, now I give the time to Mr. Johan or Dr. Johan to start being a moderator. Time is yours, Pak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ati, for the introduction. Yes, so probably according to what Mr. Ati have mentioned, that today we have two distinguished speakers with us here. The first one is Dr. Bayu, who will teach us more about ChatGPT, right? So probably you guys are excited now, right? So yeah, let's start. Let's welcome Dr. Bayu with his speech. Please, Dr. Bayu.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Johan and Dr. For the introductions. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about ChatGPT. This is an emerging AI generative tools. So my name is Bayu Aditama, and I'm from University of Maryland, Baltimore County, USA. So this is not my current research actually, but I just want to share to everyone that these very important topics, like important applications that is emerging nowadays. So I believe that everyone already knows about this application. Then yeah, let's discuss together and share, study together about these applications. So I think there is kind of background noise. Would you be able to mute? I think the moderator can.
Sorry, I will have to mute the participant. Okay.
Okay. So let's start with the introductions. Who am I? Yeah, this is my research interest currently in data science, applied data mining, and related fields. And I'm a research scientist, as you probably know. I'm also graduate faculty associate at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And I did several positions previously in Korea. I hold senior research positions at the data science group IBS, Institute for Basic Science. And I also did 2 postdoctoral research at PostTech and the UNIS. So in UNIS, actually, right after my graduations, I joined the UNIS. Then for 6 months, then I moved to PostTech to continue my postdoc for 2 years. Okay. And then after that, I joined to IBS as a senior research scientist for 2 years before moving here again as a research scientist. So what we are doing now in this research center is actually related to the application of data science for the polar regions. So it deals with the data analytics. How can we understand the ice dynamics in the polar regions, and how this impact on the global sea level rise. So we mostly use data-driven discoveries and also physics informed for the analysis of the ice dynamics. So there are so many research questions here, as we can see, that we are trying to solve, that we are trying to answer. Actually, how to improve our ability to project the future ice sheet's contribution to the sea level rise, and how can we gain the new insights into the ice dynamics, and then how do we better estimate and visualize the ice sheet and subglacial topography at a global scale. And the last one is how can we link the satellite-based observation of the near surface with both atmospheric drivers and effect on the ice sheet. So these are like the basic questions that we are going to solve. So this is like a big research center consisting of many universities. So as you can see, there are some university from Dartmouth College, Amherst College, University of Minnesota, even like Morgan University, as well as the other universities. And this is like a $1 million project, million US dollar project. So yeah, it's kind of very big and very long-term projects. So this is like the research center that I'm currently working on. And yeah, hopefully if you have many questions related to this research, then I will be happy to answer. So before we start to the ChatGPT itself, so I'm gonna discuss about the kind of the major goal of the AI, like the common goal of the AI. So I cite from the professor from Stanford University that, you know, she said about the I often tell my students not to be misled by name of artificial intelligence. So actually there is nothing artificial about it. AI is made by humans, intended to behave by humans, and ultimately to impact humans' lives and human society. So what is the major goal of the AI? It's actually to get computers to understand and then process the data, and then in one day it will be able to, you know, mimic human level speech, such that they will be indistinguishable from real humans. So this is the major role of the AI. And to understand GPT-3, actually, first we need to understand what is meant by the natural language. So here we can compare between the human brains and then the AI, artificial intelligence. And what makes human thought so unique is, you know, its ability to interpret using natural language. This has nothing to do with the languages, so such as like English, Korean, or English, or Chinese, or even Bahasa Indonesia. So this deal with the naturally evolved grammar and linguistics rules in our brains, and due to which that we can understand what someone is saying to us. So this has been retrained and reinforced in our brains for many years. So we can understand, and we can, you know, our ability to memorize all the, you know, grammar and linguistic rules, you know, for many years since we are, you know, in the childhood. So this is something that computers do not understand, like you know, human speech clearly. We can see like some example for this. We can easily understand actually the olive oil. What is olive oil? The olive oil is made of olives, right? And then baby oil. Baby oil is made for babies, right? Not, you know, baby oil is made of a baby, right? So this we can distinguish easily. So this is because we have like a contextual grammar in our brain, right? So our ability to interpret using natural language, and then we have also contextual grammar. So what AI do is actually to mimic the human brain. So in order to have computer understand natural language, so we have to develop a technology called a language modeling. So here we have to create the language modeling using large scale data. And how this works is an AI is given some text and is asked to predict what might come next. And it is rewarded for being correct and punished for being wrong. And the training mode, this model consists of repeating this process multiple times over as much data as possible. So it uses like large scale data. So we move to the ChatGPT itself. What is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is actually stand for Generative Pre-trained Transformer Tree. It is an advanced language model developed by OpenAI, which uses deep learning techniques to generate natural language text that is similar to human writing. So this is the latest and the most advanced version of GPT series, launched in November 2022. So it's just like last year. So it's just over several months actually access, and it has like billion parameters, 175 billion parameters. So making it one of the largest language models ever created. And then to give you a context, the human brain has around 100 trillion neurons. So this means that GPT-3 is about as robust as one of the maybe thousands of the human brain. So I also want to share that there is a forthcoming version of GPT family, like a GPT-4. GPT-4 is trained using 100 trillion neurons. So it's the same like human brain has. And GPT-3 actually is capable for performing wide range of natural language tasks, including language translations, question answering, summarizations. If you want to summarize the sentence, or even like a content generations. If you want to generate, programming language or coding, so GPT-3 is able to do that. So this is like a fine tune on top of GPT 3.5. So ChatGPT is built on the fine tune of the GPT 3.5 using supervised learning and reinforcement learning. So what is fine tuning actually? Fine tuning is a technique used to transfer learning, used in the transfer learning where pre-trained model is adapted to a specific domain or specific task by training it on a smaller dataset that is specific to those tasks. So in the case of ChatGPT, the GPT-3 model is fine-tuned on the dataset of conversational data, allowing it to generate more coherent and contextually appropriate responses in conversational settings. So by fine tuning these GPT models, actually ChatGPT is able to provide more like a personalized and engaging responses in a conversational context. And this can make an ideal choice for chatbots, virtual assistants, and other conversational AI applications. So what is reinforcement learning? So maybe some of you already familiar with this reinforcement learning. It's a type of machine learning algorithm that involves training an AI model to make decisions by rewarding or punishing based on its actions. So actually in this ChatGPT, reinforcement learning is not typically used directly, but in practically it can be used to train chatbots and other conversational AI applications that incorporate ChatGPT as a component. So this is like a background of the ChatGPT. So what's the language models used in the ChatGPT? So probably some of you already familiar with the word two-factor, GLOVE, and even fast text in 2013. So these word embeddings actually capture representation of words in form of factors. So these factors is taking into account the context of the neighboring words in large volume of text, and then two words appearing in similar context were embedded into n-dimensional space to neighboring points in this space. So in contrast, the contextual projection like a Bert and Electra and Roberta and its families, and even GPT families is published in 2018 to present. It is like rather than selecting the factor of a word in the previously learned static dictionary, like in the embedding factor, this model actually is responsible for sorry, for dynamically generating the factual representation of a word. So it is more dynamics, and a word is thus projected to a factor not only according to its prior meaning, but also according to the context in which it appears. So it's not only the dictionary, the position of the words, but also the context of the position, the context of the words in the sentence. And why this is so powerful? Because this language model actually, such as ChatGPT is trained using the zero shot or few shots and one shot approaches. So it only requires like a small amount of the data for their task. So this make like ChatGPT more robust actually over the supervised learning models, which usually requires annotated training data or label training data. So the engine of the ChatGPT itself is based on the transformer. So what is the transformer actually? As you can see here, consists of the encoder and the decoder. Transformer are the latest major technological revolutions in the field of the natural language processing. So the key success of this transformer actually is the use of attention model, attention mechanisms here, as you can see in the figure. From the encoder side and the decoder side, there is a multi-head attention mechanisms that allows to capture the context actually that I mentioned previously. The context is captured by using this attention mechanism, and it is very comparable or even outperforms than previous approaches like recurrent neural network, for instance, or even convolutional neural networks, because this attention mechanism can capture the contextual dependencies and also referencing the position for each words in the sentence correctly. Right? And then it also able to referencing the content and instead of looking for relationship with other words in the context of a given positions, so attention allows us to search for the relationship with all words in the context. And by a very effective implementations, it allows us to rely on the most similar words to improve predictions, whatever the positions in the context. So as a case studies and a best practice for this, so I already make some experiments. This for the our current research. Actually, I have some problem here, how to understand the black white morphological in MATLAB. This is kind of a function in MATLAB. So I just simply ask to ChatGPT that what is the alternative techniques of BW morphology in MATLAB. So it can simply answer some of the alternative over here, right? And what if we ask like more detail, something like a very specific, if we give like a more specific input, then so I have this kind of task, I have this kind of a code, then I just ask ChatGPT, can you give some alternatives to this code? And then, yeah, surprisingly, actually, ChatGPT can give so many options here. So there are like 4 options. They give me 4 options. And again, surprisingly, for all options actually can be applied successfully, in terms of MATLAB coding. So I just implement this coding that they are generated, and it can be run successfully. And it makes sense actually to have this kind of options. And what I suggest is how to use the ChatGPT more efficient and more effective is actually be as specific as you can, and give examples of the output you want. So here, I give like an output. So I want to, the output is something like this. So can you give, I just asked the ChatGPT, can you give some, options to this output? And then surprisingly, it gives us like, many options like this. So you can try in your own problems, in your own research. So probably you can have the same solution. And again, so in here, I just simply ask to, how to assign a different color for each plot in stack plot in MATLAB. So I want to give a different color for the stack plot in MATLAB. So it takes me like several conversation with the ChatGPT. So ChatGPT actually cannot understand directly, what I want, what I need actually. So in here, ChatGPT gave me like a wrong, it's not wrong, like incorrect response using color map. And then, in some extent, I just say that, color map is not recognized by MATLAB. And what ChatGPT suggests is, okay, probably you need the area color. And again, I tell the ChatGPT that area color is not recognized, is not, recognized by MATLAB. It's not a function, it's not a MATLAB function. Then finally, I just want to, what I want is still to use the stack plot, but with the different color. And finally, ChatGPT gave me the correct answer for this simple plotting function for MATLAB. So yeah, I think that's all for my talk I think I will go to the question and answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bayu, for a very interesting topic and knowledge about how we can use ChatGPT, right, to help with
Mhm.
our works, right? In this case, Dr. Bayu shows some examples to help with your work as a scientist, right? That's all research questions. Okay, do we have any questions here from the participants? If you have any questions, you can raise your hands or you can directly type on the chat room. Right. So I have some questions, Dr. Bayu. So about ChatGPT, so is there any limitations in the language that it use? I mean, uh, can it be used? Can we use Indonesians, for example, to ask some questions to the ChatGPT?
Yeah, so far I just use English,
Okay.
but I never try bahasa Indonesia. So probably
Mhm.
okay. I think a few weeks ago I also asked in bahasa Indonesia, and then the answer is also bahasa Indonesia. So you can test it. It's very interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, it is
I see.
available in many languages. Actually.
Okay, so
But we have to be careful about the about the context itself. Do it make sense or not about the the text generation.
I
Sometimes
see.
between bahasa Indonesia and English have different context and grammar, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there is still
Mhm.
like some little bit limitations between the language that we use, right? Because of the difference of the contextual meaning, the
Yeah,
tenses,
contextual
and then
grammar. Yeah, yeah.
the language structure, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay, I
it needs
see.
further research.
I
But
see.
I
But
never tried.
okay, but so far it can still provide also the answer
Yes.
using the same
Yeah.
language as we asked.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Okay. So here we have questions from Dr. Daniel, representative. Yes. So is ChatGPT provide API
API.
and can be embedded in our application? For example, can we put it in Ubaya website to serve people that ask about Ubaya?
Yeah, I think so, because this is like a GPT-3, actually GPT-3 language model actually is not available. It's not openly available, but you can use in some extent to use GPT-2. I think GPT-2 is kind of language model that you can use to train your own using your own datasets. And by using this training, this GPT-3 as a backbone, then you can create the API, something like API. And then nowadays, actually, for ChatGPT, they provide like API for the spreadsheets, like a Google spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like a very new application that I I just heard in the discussions, that it also provide API for the spreadsheet, Google spreadsheets. If you were on it. Yeah, it's yeah, like the other text generative tools, they I believe that they provide actually they provide API so that we can customize to our application, right?
Right. I see. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Bayu. Yes. We have another question here, Dr. Bayu.
Mhm.
Okay. So is the data in ChatGPT based on their server or based on the news data, like wherever Google Maps, where they update every day?
Yeah, actually they update almost every day. and then they train almost every day. I think like because AI, you know, AI is relying on the training data, right? So I believe that it updates already like every day in everyday manner, and using, as I mentioned, using, you know, like 175 billion parameters, and for the training data set itself, I think it's almost 1 terabyte in size. So yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite robust actually to provide the you know, a good answer and a correct answer to us.
Okay, I see. So is that clear, Gilang? Okay, so so now we have the time, right? The time is 10:30, so probably we still have another speaker here for these sessions. So if you have further questions, so maybe we can have further uh communications with Dr. Bayu, maybe through, maybe how can we reach you, Dr. Bayu, maybe through some media, maybe if we are interested with this
Sure,
kind of
sure.
with the development of AI,
Ah,
especially like
Yeah, sure.
ChatGPT. Yes.
Sure.
So
I will be happy to
maybe
answer any questions you have.
okay, all right.
Mhm.
So probably we can reach you by email, right?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So if there's anyone here among our attendee who's interested to discuss or have more further discussion with Dr. Bayu regarding the
Mhm.
development of ChatGPT, yeah,
Mhm.
you can also directly contact Dr. Bayu through email,
Sure.
or maybe you can still type in the meeting chat here, and I will
Mhm.
forward your questions to Dr. Bayu.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so thank you very much, Dr. Bayu,
Yeah,
for the
you're
talk.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, and
Thank you for the
now
invitation. I appreciate.
yes, thanks a lot for accepting the invitations to Dr. Bayu.
Mhm.
Okay. Now we have our second guest speakers in this room. Let me check. Okay, so our guest speaker, the second guest speaker already in the room. Okay, so wait, how to spotlight? Okay, so let me introduce. So our second speaker is Assistant Professor Chang Jie from National Taiwan University of Science and Technology, and he will give us a talk about applications of big data AI in the fintech industry. So, Professor Chang. Let me see if he's available. Hello, Professor Chang. Wait a minute, maybe there's some connection issue. Let me. Oh, Professor cannot open the mic. Oh, sorry. Let's see how I can. Okay. Can Professor Chang unmute now? Still no. Maybe Miss Sandra, can you help me?
I've got the participants to unmute themselves.
Okay, so Professor Chang, can you try it again? Okay, so maybe Professor Chang will try to rejoin the meeting again. Um, okay, meanwhile, while we are waiting for Professor Chang to rejoin us here. Oh, okay. Oh, he is still be mute. Hmm. Miss Sandra.
I cannot see him in the participants list.
Let okay. I also yeah, maybe Professor Chang is trying to rejoin the room again. Okay, while we're waiting for Professor Chang, maybe if we still have some questions. Okay, so here's Professor Chang.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, all right, great.
Yeah, because I
Yes,
found that web page it seems works. All right, just let
all
me
right.
try.
Okay, Professor Chang.
So I have to. Do I need to just change my background or it's okay? Because just wait a second.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
okay, it works. Is that okay?
okay. Great. Yes,
Okay.
this is okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so thank you, Professor Chang, for joining with us in this webinar session. And yeah, as I have briefly introduced earlier, so Professor Chang is an assistant professor from the Department of Industrial and Information Management in the School of Management, National Taiwan University of Science and Technology in Taiwan. So Professor Chang will give a talk about the applications of big data and AI in fintech. So without further ado, let's welcome Professor Chang to give the talk.
Okay,
Professor
great.
Chang,
Thanks
and the stage is
for
yours.
Professor Alexon. So can everyone see my slides? Yes, I have already shared. So
Yes, Professor Chang. We could see your
yes,
slide.
yeah, everyone has show see my slides, right?
Uh, it's missing now. It's gone.
It's amazing. Okay, again, I
Okay,
try
maybe
again.
can you?
Is that
Okay.
works?
Yes. No,
Okay,
it works
great.
fine. Great.
Okay, so thanks for Professor Alexander's introduce. So today I'm going to just quick show everyone about that there's a lot of applications that be happen in Taiwan and which because I just focus on doing the fintech for a few years. So in the beginning, I just quick let you know what my personal experience and some educations in my school times, I do a lot of technology and also manage works, including that a lot of surveys and also machine learning. And that's why I just go to the enterprise, which I will be in the Fubang. Fubang is the biggest in both finance, telecommunications, and also e-commerce in Taiwan. So it's a very, very huge group in Taiwan. So when I just graduated from my PhD and I go to a Fubang, and For 1 years later, I become the leader of big data and AI team. So what I'm doing there is trying to do a lot of fintech work. But there's one thing is very important. It's just what I mentioned is that as you see that Fubon has a lot of different departments. In their group, they have telecommunication, they have e-commerce. So in our strategy, we're trying to use a lot of data from different departments. Just like what I talk, telecommunication, we can use something that they use their cell phone to surfing on the internet, what they are trying to search, this kind of information that maybe can serve a lot of financial industrial. And also in e-commerce, we hope that those e-commerce data can help. We can have a new strategy doing some financials strategies, something like this. So what we're gonna do is we hope that we can integrate a lot of different part of data and doing something different with other financials enterprise. So in my career time in Fubon, we do a lot of big data works and AI works. So in the following section, I will let you know what we do. But to be honest, it's a little bit the time is not so long, so I just can just let you know what we are trying to solve and what we are going to do. So that's what we do. Just to think about the traditional finance and fintech. So as what I face a financial industry, just everyone saws that I go to the Fubon. But whenever I go to Fubon, I found out that financial is not only banking. They're including a lot of things just like life insurance or property insurance and security. So a lot of things was be happen and we have to think more about how those data can be used in different type. And also in Taiwan there's a governance, they're trying to monitor a lot of things in financial services. So but to be honest, Fubon has these four different types of groups like banking, life insurance, property insurance, and securities. But those data cannot use across different departments. So that's why a lot of things, a lot of promotions in doing the financial is not easy. So so what we talk about is trying to make our financial services. If we get more data, we can be more understand our customer, and also we can use some tools just like robotic process automation, something like this, to get our financial service more efficiency. So what in our fintech this topic, we're trying to make our financial services in more efficiency way. So that's a little bit different in some dimension. Just like in payment business, we have new ideas of doing the payment, just like mobile payment, integrated billings, streamlined payments. So, but in my experience, I think more things every financial industry trying to do is doing the biometrics. Something that you can just your eyebrows or your fingerprints trying to authenticate some services. That's whole the financial services, whole the financials industrials like banking, like life insurance. They're trying to build out their own biometrics, trying to do a lot of services. So in payment business, a lot of financials in Taiwan, we're trying to build a lot of biometrics. So there's a lot of different applications, just like mobile payment or streamlined payment. They are just an application based on the biometrics. And the second thing is about InsurTech. InsurTech, what we're trying to do is we can build out some new insurance policies. Just everyone saws that we have diabetes policies in Taiwan. In previous years, diabetes, if someone get diabetes, maybe those life insurance company will not give them any policies. But whenever we can just keep monitor their sugars, blood sugars, if those blood sugars can be monitored in some way, and maybe we can give them some policies. And also we have cell phone policies, just like when we buy buy a new phones, and we're afraid that it will be broken. and we have cell phone policies. And also flight delayed insurance with automatic claims. It was be happen very often in Taiwan because what we're trying to do is to understand if some flight has been delayed, and whenever you just get off from the plan, and we can get a policy, something like this. And also wearable insurance, just everyone, I think everyone have your own wearable device, which we trying to understand every vital sign from every person's, which we have a policies just like when you work more and your insurance premium will be lower. And also there's some internet or vehicle insurance. So insurtech is also a very important topics in fintech. And also there are new deposit channels and something like P2P lending. But in Taiwan, we P2P lending is not very famous because our banking give our rate is very low. So in Taiwan, P2P lending is not so it's not a trend while we're doing the fintech. But supply chain finance is very important because a lot of banking service trying to understand those their vendors, those enterprise, maybe startups will have to understand their supply chains. Whenever they make a product, they can understand the sales thing, they can just put their materials first and then to produce a lot of product. So supply chain finance sometimes can help banking service to understand. Maybe we can just borrow them a lot of money. And also there's some quick trial calculation, just like you can use some cameras or satellite to understand the buildings, something like this, and to understand maybe or we can approve some loans for those something someone want to borrow the money. The fourth thing is about the fundraising. In Taiwan, fundraising is very popular. You can see a lot of person have dream. They can just set up their dreams on the platform through the internet and get a lot of money, and then they can trying to build out their own products. And also in some lessons, maybe we can just put some money if something like a professor Alex have their online course, we can just spend a lot of money and trying to fundraising to help them to keep the course, something like this. And also we have something that it's including using blockchain to understand the cryptocurrencies. So that's a new channels for fundraising. And last one would be a humanized financial services bot, which we call robot advisor and also chatbot. And robot advisor was very popular in the 2017. But now in Taiwan, robot advisor, no one doing this because we found sometimes the portfolio will be generated from those automatic systems. Sometimes cannot avoid something like in the last year we can find our stock was be up and down very soon. So robot advisor is also very famous in doing in fintech. There's a chatbots. We can find a lot of services, a lot of banking services or financial services trying to use chatbot to uh, discuss with their customers or solve their problems from the chatbot. So what I trying to tell you is that from finance to fintech, what we do is trying to build up some trust. This kind of trust can help you to do something just like P2P lending, something like robot advisor. If you trust us, we can just give you some portfolio, and you can to do a lot of investment. And also fintech, we consider a lot of things, including auditing, security, and also decentralized, something like this. So what I trying to show you, because after that we found out cloud computing, blockchain, and big data AI is very important in doing the fintech. So following, I will just let you show something that I was doing in Fubon, and there's a lot of applications here. The first one is our showcase. It's about open data aggregations. Everyone may think open data sometimes is not very useful, but in Taiwan, what we're trying to do is maybe we can understand our customer more. Something like this. This one is tax, blood donation, or violation ticket. For example, or if we get someone's ID and their born date, we can just put those data into the API, and then we can get something from governance. For example, we can get Zhang Zhijie pay the tax on maybe September, so we can understand that this person is very is focused on. He's very aware about uh, to lending a lot of money there. And also in blood donation, we can understand a customer is trying to donating their blood every 3 months, which means this person is very proud of his healthy. So those data can help us to understand that what this customer or what those customers they are doing, and their some information about what they thought about themselves, which means we can have more application, just like reducing insurance premium, something like this. So we do a lot of open data aggregation, and also there's something that we use open data to efficient our process of some claims, just like we can understand the persons who has just violation tickets have been happened. So this is open data aggregations. And also there's a data integration platform. Just everyone shows there's a short example is just a number of person who has lower AUM in bank, but has both higher AUM in life insurance and security is almost 2,000 people. And also one of this person have higher AUM in one of life insurance or security might have 107,000. It means in bank he cannot understand the information from the life insurance and securities, which means that those person is not be in their promotion pools, something like this. So what we're trying to do, we hope that we can have a data integration platform to make and construct 360 degrees custom views, which means that whenever we have to do marketing or targeting, we can have uh, more information to do precisely marketing. So that's what we do. So what is single custom view? Just like this. I'm a man. I'm a male, and I'm 38 years, and I have 4G, and I have packet, something like this. It means whenever you want to promote me something, you can just call and ask my wife to do something. It means that I can buy something, but I have to ask my wife. So whenever I get a lot of these labels on myself, we can build up our single custom view, and then we can do a lot of promotions. And also, we also have another data integration platform, which is a kind of we hope that we can build everyone's single customer journey, just like whenever you purchase some life insurance, and then you will claim adjustment, which means we can wait until you come to claim adjustment, and we can also sell some financial products for you. So what we do is we will trying to build up event occurrence metrics and successful paths, and also based on this we can have change our strategy. And there's another application is that we hope that we can build our own scores, just like in China they have a Zhima score. So in Fubon we also want to depends on everyone's just what I mentioned, that every different territory, just telecommunications, e-commerce stores, and banking services. We hope that we can just build out a score, and then we can do the single sign-ons, assessment, ability, and trying to build out some use those scores to provide our customer more uh, interested services. And this is an AI case. It's about robot advisor, which has been launched in 2016. It's just a short description about our robo advisor. It's use block determinants, and our invest product is an ETFs, and minimum amount is about $5,000, and KYC level we have 9 KYC levels. So what is black litterman? It can be back to Marquis frontiers, which we hope that we can base on return and risk to understand our customers that they what kind of risk they can accept and then have their higher return. But black litterman is trying to add some view from expert. Something like a person that says, an expert says that he has a 90% confidence stock A will increase 5% return this year. It will be added to the mark with frontiers these models, and then they will have new portfolio from this. It's a portfolios pools. So what we robot advisors do is we have a landing page and then have service and final we will finish the transactions. So in the landing page, we have this just like this. We can just push the button and we can use this. And the first one is trying to understand our customer. So we have to do the KYC and choose our plan. This it consists about how old are you and how much about your deposit, how many people's in your room and how many people's that is under 18 years old and how much you want to invest every month, something like this. And then we can just pick up plan, and then we can just do some parameter setting, including investment period, goals, amount, and also risk level. It will construct new different portfolios, and based on those your risk level, we will generate a portfolio for you, and they will let you know the percentage of each ETFs and how much money in each ETFs. So, and we will also display the performance. Also, based on this portfolio, you will gain how much money in after 20 years, something like this. And finally, we can just push the button and we complete the transactions. But in robo advisors, the most important thing is that we will hope uh, everyone can check their performance. So whenever the performance is out of the line, we will trying to ask our customer to do the rebalance, because sometimes the investment the period is have already shifting, and hope that you can just do some change to make sure that to meet your goals you can do something like or you can just change your portfolio and to make your goals to be achieved in your expected years. So this is an AI case in fintech. So there's still keep on moving. Just what I just in previous in these years, I found there's three interest topics. Maybe just share to use. The first one is about social network based services. When I was in 2012, I was uh, a postdoc fellows in academia Sinica. I found that social network is very important, but at that time a lot of research paper has been published, but there's not much real application. But now I found a lot of financial industry trying to find me, and they want to do some graph analysis. So just like AO's Ice Bucket Challenge, it costs little money, but they build out a lot of videos. What I'm trying to say is that this kind of social network, what we hope that we can find is the first thing is we hope that we can find those person have just like what we understand the KOL, key opinion leaders, or some people that have higher social influence, which we can do viral marketing. So in the past years, I have helped financial industry trying to do the money laundering. But as you know, in the past math methodologies we use to trying to figure out some person that he has uh, a lot of money, so he has higher risk to do the money laundering. But to be honest, sometimes this kind of money laundering is trying to I just put the money to someone, and the someone put the money to other ones, and then back to me. So it's a kind of structures. So in this year, I found this kind of grab mining has become very popular. They hope that they can use this kind of structure to understand what kind of services or what kind of recommendation can be happen through this kind of graph mining. And the second thing is about conversational commerce. As everyone knows, we use Line to chat every day. So I think about in maybe 10 years later, everyone can just buy a lot of things on your cell phone, and also maybe use the chatbot. So whenever you find out the chatbot just recommend you something that you have to buy, maybe you just shifting your hand fingers and you finish the purchase. So I think conversational commerce is also the second things will be happen in fintech. The final thing is about federated learning, which just I mentioned before. When I was in Fubon, we hope that we can gathering a lot of different data from different department, but due to the privacy issues, we cannot doing this. But now federated learning become very interesting because what they do is they just put their parameter from every your models and then co-train the model on the centralized models. Let me give you an example. It's just I'm not sure. Uh, just like me, I use Android assistants. So whenever I use Google, he recommended a lot of sentence from the Google's. I think it's not, everyone have your own recommendations. So you can think about every cell phone has their own models, but in Google they have a centralized models there. What they do is they just transfer or transist a lot of models parameters instead of the real data. So in finance, this kind of industrial, what we do, or we hope that every data can be shared, but we cannot put our data outside. So maybe federated learning is another way can achieve these things. All right, so let's all. I think just quick show everyone about what I'm doing before, and there's some interest more in the future. So I'm not sure if everyone have any questions.
All right. Thank you for the talk, Professor Chang. So, yeah, any questions that we have from the audience? You can, again, you can raise your hand to directly raise your hand to ask questions, or you can use the chat room. You can type your question in the chat room, and then yes, I will help you to convey your questions to Professor Chang. Right. So earlier, Professor Chang, you show an interesting idea that we can integrate several services, right, in nowadays. So especially it's like the lending, the insurance, the mobile payment, So
Yeah.
one of the interesting stuff that I find in your PowerPoint is that regarding the wearable device, the more that we work, it will like the more it will lower the insurance
Yes.
premise, right? So in that case, in some case, right, there is still in the insurance world, the insurance company, they are still like fighting back. Uh, they are still struggling, like sometimes finding which one that is like the correct claim, which one that is the claim that is made up by people just to get like some reimbursement, and then or maybe even for someone, for the client of the insurance company, it's like they really need to get some reimbursement, but maybe because of a lot of miscellaneous case, a lot of deceiving case, that the insurance company cannot like directly trust the client. So in that case, how could we use this kind of a big data and I mean to build the trust between in this insurance world too?
You
and then
so
also keeping the benefits.
you mean that the insurance company trying to solve those claims, or uh, I, I mean that is there any scenario that you think that big data or AI can help?
Yes, I mean, so like for example, uh, nowadays, the decisions whenever, for example, if I put a car insurance, right, and every time's like an accident,
Oh, you mean
traffic
car
accident happens,
insurance?
right? Yes, that's an example. And then let's say it for a car insurance company, they also receive a lot of claims from their clients, but
Right,
some of the claims
right.
maybe it's not the real case. Maybe they only a made up case in
Ah,
which, yeah, they
okay.
crash their car somewhere on a wall and it's not a real car accident in which it can um, bring disadvantage for the insurance company, right? But
Yes.
what about if there's a real client, for example, like for example myself or my car got in a car accidents, but because of this case, I need to undergo like a very thorough process that is maybe manually done by the insurance company staff to recheck.
Mm,
Is there any way for these technologies in big data and AI that we can use to help
yes.
to build this
Uh,
trust?
uh, I just give you something that I haven't seen. Because in Taiwan, it still need a lot of police. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
police, they will come to the accident place, and then they just take a pictures, and then to finish the to make sure that this kind of accidents have been happened, and then they will do the following or forward moving forward some claims. But what I saw in China, they have something that you can just use your camera and to take a photo from something that you broken, and then they can just calculate maybe whenever you apply for claims, how much money you will get. Maybe you don't need to ask police to come to the come here, and you can just finish the the cars, and then by just use a cell phone, something like this. I'm not sure I have answered your questions, or because in Taiwan it's still not easy to use this kind of big data or AI solutions. But uh, AI and data can help our property insurance doing some, human being works, just like you do the claims. But to be honest, we still use finger to sign something, so it still needs some human to do. But right now we use LCR trying to generalize what they write and just put in a database, and then to do some claims, something like this. All right.
Okay, I see. All right, thank you, Professor Chang.
Mm.
Okay, well, I guess we are limited by the time, right? The time is not quite enough to continue with the
Can
discussion.
I have quick
So,
questions?
oh, okay,
Just a
sure,
quick
Dr.
question.
Bayu, please.
So, hi, Dr. Cheng. So, it's a good, I think, talk, very interesting talk, like application of machine learning in fintech. So, I'm curious about your background actually. So, you spend like sometimes in the professional, and then finally you go to the academia. So,
Right.
what motivates you to go to the academia beside professional?
Okay. Uh, to be honest, I've uh uh this is a great idea, a great question, because I have two child. I hope that I can just keep on their side. So I go back to academia. And also, to be honest, in enterprise, I feel a little bit tired, because I was just I mentioned that I was in this department, which I was just under the chairman. So I see a lot of president in each department or each each groups. I found a lot of against or fighting, and I feel this kind of life is not what I want. What I want is trying to help my child to be grow up very happily,
Yeah,
something like
I
this. So
agree. I agree
comment.
yeah, I totally agree to your, I think, to your, to your idea
Yeah.
to move to academia, because you can have like more free time and flexibility, right? And
But to be
freedom
honest,
sometimes. Yeah.
but to be honest, in the past few months, I feel also I also feel very tired. But I'm very happy because what I'm doing is for myself, and I try to guide a lot of students and everyone. Have fun in doing this, in doing the
Mm.
research.
Yeah,
Yes.
academia is much more prospectus than, I think, than in professional, because professional maybe with with more stress and with more pressure maybe from your chair, right? And then
Yeah.
in academia probably it's like less stress maybe, but with also, yeah, with less, I think, with less salary, I think, if to be honest, compared to professional, I believe.
Correct.
Mm,
All right.
yeah, I agree in your opinion, with your opinion. Thank you, Dr. Chen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bayu. Okay, so
Okay.
I guess so if maybe our participant here is very shy here and not quite confident. So in this case, if you guys still have further questions that you want to ask, you are interested with regarding the big data AI, also the fintech technology, and you want to ask further questions to Professor Chang, so you can also can we find you directly through your email, maybe Professor Chang,
Sure,
to,
sure, sure.
to raise
I will
questions?
just
Okay,
provide my email for you. Yes.
all right. Okay, so yes, we can directly email to Professor Chang, or you can also send your questions to me, and then I will also forward it directly later on to Professor Chang. And yeah, again, if you still have also another questions for Dr. Bayu, you can also similarly send it through me, and I will forward your questions to Dr. Bayu. All right. So I guess that's it for today's sessions. Thank you very much, Dr. Bayu and Professor Chang. What an insightful talk that we have here. We know a lot about the development of AI, AI in the chatbot, right? In the generating uh, contents using ChatGPT, and also we see how big data and AI technology actually can be used in real life, especially in this case in the financial technology, in which we can integrate multiple services into one, right? So again, so I would like to remind you guys that tomorrow we will still have the second series of this webinar, which will be started on 1 p.m. Indonesian GMT +7, and until 2 p.m. And we will have additional two distinguished speakers that will join with us to deliver the lecture. Right. So again, thank you very much, Dr. Bayu and Professor Chang, and we hope to keep in contact and hope that you um, hope for your success in all of your endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye. So, Miss Sandra, so about the meeting, should I just edit directly or?
Yes, but you just can end the meeting for now.